From the Fox 43 studio, this is Sportswrap.
Well, it's a new Commanders season after a year in which Washington shocked the entire NFL. And now it's year 2 of the Adam Peters, Dan Quinn, and Jayden Daniels era. The winning window seems wide open heading into 2025, and there's a ton of excitement to see what this team can accomplish as the new season is right around the corner. Come on in, everyone. Welcome into the show. We are calling it our Commanders Camp Check-In. He is Brian Parsons. I'm James Catato. You're going to see Sports Director Craig Loper in just a little bit, but this is a Sportswrap Overtime special. We're going to have you covered for the next 25 minutes with a ton of Commanders content as the team has been in training camp for a couple weeks now. So much to talk about with this group this season, Brian.
Man, there's a lot to get to, a lot of expectations. We're talking about a team that was within one game of reaching the Super Bowl. But we do have a lot of things going on here. There's a contract situation involving Terry McLaurin that we're not too excited about. And there's also some local flavor on the team. But that situation with Terry, man.
Yeah, about that. I mean, the very popular wide receiver still at odds with management over a contract extension.
He was a training camp holdout, and then he eventually showed up, but he's been held out of practice.
So let's get into some of the other headlines with the 2025 Washington Commanders, starting with the Offensive Rookie of the Year, Jayden Daniels, second overall pick in the 2024 NFL Draft out of LSU. All he did in season 1 was account for more than 4,000 all-purpose yards. He had 31 touchdowns total, Brian.
Finally, a franchise quarterback in the nation's capital. And Daniels, he's shown a lot of maturity, and he's a gamer. Did you know he confirmed this week that he had a broken rib in that game, the Hail Mary over the Bears?
Yeah.
That game, that crazy game. That was one of 5 fourth-quarter comebacks for the Commanders. They were tied with the Chiefs for the most in the NFL in that category. That's pretty good, right?
I would say that's pretty solid company. And Brian, when it comes to Jayden, that is a guy that you're going to look at and hope that he is the cornerstone of this Washington franchise for years to come.
Protect the man, you know?
Protect that man. And speaking of protecting that man, it helps when you got a big guy up in the trenches in Laramie Tunsil, the Washington Commanders acquiring him. On top of that, Deebo Samuel at wide receiver, and then bringing in some defensive help as well as one of the best edge rushers of all time, and Von Miller is coming as well. Re-signing Bobby Wagner and Zach Ertz. There's a lot to be excited about with their offseason acquisitions, Brian.
Yeah, James, it was funny. We were talking in the office of who was the left tackle, offensive tackle last year, and it was by committee. We weren't even sure.
Rotational.
So I was kind of questioning how big of a move is this Tunsil move, and you were telling me this is a huge move.
Well, especially because you're protecting Jayden Daniels on his blind side. You want a guy like Tunsil, who is an all-pro level tackle, who protected C.J. Stroud, another young quarterback, to come in and do the same for Jayden.
Big acquisition and a leader by all accounts, and a very mature player. Now here is a recap of the 2024 season. 12-5 regular season record, the most wins since 1991 when they went 14-2, and all they did that year was win the Super Bowl. First NFC title game appearance since that 91 season. Those 2 playoff wins against the Bucs and the Lions, of course, that happened as well.
8 one-score games last season. Jayden Daniels had 4 fourth-quarter comebacks or game-winning drives as a team. They had 5, counting that comeback over the Cowboys that was engineered by Marcus Mariota. Truly the cardiac Commanders, Brian, with some of those games that we saw. So it's safe to say the outside noise regarding the Commanders is a lot right now from so many people that follow and cover this league. This is a team in a brand new place.
Yeah, last year they weren't dealing with any of this. The lights are brighter and they're dealing with expectations. They're expected to compete for the division with the Eagles, and there's going to be a lot of eyeballs on the team, and we're going to get into the schedule in a little bit. A minimum of 5 games in prime time, and how about this? A game in Spain, too.
That's not too bad. For what the team is saying about handling all the expectations, let's go to Ashburn and hear from Wavy Sports Director Craig Loper.
You know, last year around this Commanders team, you heard the word culture a lot. Less of that in 2025, and now the word you're going to hear a lot more often, standards. Living up to the standard of that NFC Championship game appearance, that 12-5 regular season record. This team shocked the world last season and made some headlines in a major way. Jayden Daniels, the Rookie of the Year. Dan Quinn in his first year, Adam Peters in his first year, Joe Witt Jr. at defensive coordinator, Cliff Kingsbury as the OC. Now this group expects that success and more.
Fortunate that last year we came up with some standards that we want as Commanders. This is our Commander standard, and it was written by the players. So we really see the expectations, being external. But the ones that we have are internal. These are the standards that we want to go after. And so we definitely recognize there could be a narrative or a voice outside, But the truth of it is, internally in our standard of what we want to do and how we want to get down, that's way more powerful. And we're fortunate that we're able to rely on those standards as opposed to an expectation which comes from the outside. So I think those are what we lean on, and we're fortunate that we have those.
Take it day by day and focus on what you can control. And that's how can I get better each and every day? How can I help lead this team and, even advance myself more than the offense?
We haven't had this feeling in a long time. It seemed like every year for a long period of time you were hoping things went right, things kind of fell in your favor. Well, the team last year did some great things last year, so that gave the guys that have come back and even guys that we added to the mix a feeling and an understanding that we can. It's not a hope kind of thing. It's a great job being set forth by AP, the GM, and by DQ, our head coach, and all the coaches are falling in line with it, and the players, they believe and feed off of us.
The expectations of this team do not impact what goes on in the building. Last year, not many people chose us to be successful, and this year maybe too many people are choosing us to be successful. And so for me, I think the message is how can we get better? I talk about it all the time with last year. If we started fast or started slow, it's about the continuum improvement throughout the year. And we all have to be better. If we're the same team we were last year, we've let ourselves down enormously.
Sort of an interesting stat if you want to read into it with this Commanders team. They're actually the oldest team in all of the NFL. Average age, 27 and a half years old. Coincidentally enough, if you look at the average age of the last 15 Super Bowl champions, that's dating back to 2008, the average age of those teams, 27 years old. Maybe the stars align for the 2025 Commanders.
All right, thanks, Craig. And we're going to see you in just a little bit. Now, here are some Commanders projections coming into the season. According to ESPN, the over-under, 9.5 wins, seems a little low coming off 12 wins last season. And plus, considering all the moves that were made in the offseason, 9.5 wins puts the Commanders on the same line as the Bengals, Broncos, Packers, Texans, Chargers, Rams, and Bucks. The Ravens, Bills, Chiefs, and Eagles lead the league with an over-under of 11.5.
20-1 odds to win the Super Bowl, pretty solid odds. Minus 150 to make the playoffs, plus 225 to win the division, and plus 850 to win the NFC.
And some other numbers. Playoff probabilities range from 53% to 71%. Now, every year, a team does go from last place in its division to first place. But in the NFC East, I don't think the Giants are going to win the NFC East. So it's not going to happen there.
Yeah, no. But right. You never know, like you said.
Never know. Now, the most credentialed offseason acquisition was All-Pro linebacker Von Miller as he chases one more Super Bowl ring.
When we return, we'll have a full report with the veteran as Commanders Camp Check-In continues. You're watching Wavy Plus.
Welcome back to Commanders Camp Check-In. The NFL is truly a year-to-year league, and off-season acquisitions often an indicator of where a franchise thinks it stands. And the Commanders acquired a huge name this offseason, James.
Yeah, massive. He's the career sacks leader for active players right now. Of course, we're talking about Von Miller, who comes into Washington after 3 seasons with the Buffalo Bills. Greg Loper has more from Ashburn.
Well, if you played 15 years in the NFL, it means your career has probably been pretty successful, and that is the case for Von Miller. He's a 7-time All-Pro selection, a 2-time Super Bowl champion, and has 129.5 career sacks to his name. Now he's in Washington, adding to a position of need this offseason filled by Adam Peters, and he is expecting to contribute and says he has plenty left to give at 36 years old.
When I put the cleats on and I get in my stance, I could just feel it. Still quick off the ball, still twitchy. Probably not as twitchy as I was before, like when I was 21 years old. That's just life. But I still got enough twitch to still go out here and do what I do and be effective in the game. The main thing for me is rushing the passer. I can do that right when I wake up, fresh out of sleep. So. Love rushing the passer, and then I'm a team guy too. I'm a team guy through and through. Those are the two things that I toot my horn on. There's nothing like being on a team with other guys. It's just like me going towards a common goal. I've been on a football team since I was in the 5th grade. So now we talking about 25 years, something like that, playing football. So I just know the dynamics of a locker room. I lead with love, and then you can start to demand and kind of mold and talk to players and tell them what you see. But I lead with love, with the coaching staff too.
And his name alone certainly demands a lot of respect. His teammates, no doubt, speaking glowingly of number 24.
Excited to get to learn from him in person. A guy that I think still has a lot left in the tank. Someone offenses have to respect just because of his ability to get to the quarterback. And somebody just fun to be around, great person, great guy, going to be great in our locker room. So I'm excited. It's just his work ethic. You see a great come out and how he works every single day, how he prepares and what he can give to the other guys, old and young. Like he can really help his team a lot.
Fans have seen that number 24 that Vaughn wears. They might ask why he decided to go with that. He actually told us in the media, he said he wore it for one game in college. It was to honor a close friend that actually suffered a serious neck injury. He also credits the late, great Kobe Bryant with the inspiration to wear the number.
Now, Brian, I covered Vaughn in Buffalo when I was there. I think the biggest thing the Commanders fans are going to get, while they may not get double-digit sacks from Von Miller anymore, at least you hope he does, of course, but you're going to get a locker room guy. You're going to get a guy who still had 6 sacks last year with the Bills on his last year with the team, but you're also going to get a guy who's going to take a guy like Johnny Newton around the corner, right, put his arm around him and give him some advice. Even a guy like Bobby Wagner who's got veteran experience, or Bobby Price, who we're going to hear from later in the show. He said Vaughn has helped him out a ton, too. So Vaughn is going to be a guy who is going to come in and do more than just play on the field.
You got to wonder, too, what about the veteran guys? How are they kind of reacting to a guy like this coming into the locker room? Just Daron Payne, for example. How is he reacting to this, do you think? How did he seem?
Well, I can speak incredibly well on both Washington and Buffalo. All the vets that were on the defensive line in Buffalo just loved when Miller came in from the Broncos because they were getting a guy with Super Bowl pedigree. And everybody on the Commanders says the exact same thing. Listen, it doesn't hurt when you add more talent, right? There's never enough when it comes to adding marquee level all-pro talent like that.
Self-professed nerd, Miller was the number 2 pick in the 2011 draft out of Texas A&M. In 2012, 18.5 sacks, but he hasn't had a double-digit sacks in a season in 7 years. But Miller is a leader and a winner. He's kind of like a coach player out there, right? With that kind of experience. He's not going to play every down. He'll be a rotation guy, but he'll be inserted when needed. And the Commanders are banking that his big game success will trickle down to some of the younger guys.
For sure, going to be a big third down guy for sure.
Yep.
From the coaching staff to the players of 757, well represented in D.C.
And when we come back, we'll talk with some of the local guys with the Commanders, including a player just hoping to make the 53-man roster. You're watching Commanders Camp Check-In on Wavy Plus. All right, welcome back to Commanders Camp Check-In on Wavy Plus. I'm Brian Parsons along with James Catato. The Commanders are the local team here in Hampton Roads, so it's always cool when players from the 757 get a chance to play for our hometown team, so to speak.
Very cool. When Craig Loper and myself were up in Ashburn, we tracked down the guys from Hampton Roads, and for more on that, let's send it back to Craig in Ashburn.
Well, about 3.5 hours north of Hampton Roads here in Ashburn, Virginia, there are a few local connections on this 2025 Commanders team. Bobby Price, the defensive back, played his high school ball at Bishop Sullivan and then starred at Norfolk State. Jalen Holmes was a highly touted recruit out of Lake Taylor High School. He's on that defensive line group. And then how about the defensive line coach? Darryl Tapp, a former star at Deep Creek High School, went on to play his college career at Tech and had a long career in the NFL. This group proud to represent the 757 for this Commanders team.
I just feel like, we just got to, this offseason we focus on, hunting and getting better internally. So it's just always good to be back with this team. It's a good group of guys, and it's a lot of great guys on this team that you can learn from too. So to apply everything that we're doing, in the meeting rooms and take it out to the field.
Every year is a different team. It's a different identity that you have to have because there's new guys in there. For myself and Kerrigan, who I get to work with, and Sharif Floyd, the D-line coach I get to work with, we're trying to get these guys as close as we possibly can, as quick as we possibly can. Because when you have true belief in the man that's lined up next to you, then you go out there and play free.
I feel blessed, I'm feeling healthy, feeling good. Coming from my areas, there's not too many guys who get the opportunity to play at this level, so just being at year 6 is just a dream come true, what I'm saying? So I'm just trying to keep on stacking days and stacking years, see how long I can go. Moving from Arizona back home was a big transition, you know, moving across the country. But I'm blessed. I'm blessed to be back home, get to be closer to all my family, you know, all my friends, and just excited to like get a chance to play in front of all of them. Every time you move to a new team, you're starting all over. It's like another first day of school, you know what I'm saying? So just picking up where you left off, trying to stay focused, trying to keep your mind clear, and, you know, being on the practice squad, it doesn't mean like it's over. You can be brought up at any moment, you know. Injuries happen all the time, you know. People get cut. One day somebody's here, one day they're gone, you know what I'm saying? So just being ready at all times is like the most important thing.
For me, man, just keep honing in on my technique, keep honing in on my routine, and just try to get 1% better every day.
You got a message for the 7'5"?
Oh, man, I love the 7'5", man. Shout out to Lake Taylor and Hank Sawyer. I know he probably watching. And, you know, it's just something in the water down there, man. Everybody down there keep grinding.
Of course, a lot of Hokies fans around the 7'5'7". Jalen Lane was a 4th-round pick by the Commanders this offseason. He's hoping to contribute, of course, to the wide receiver room and then, of course, probably on special teams.
All right, shout out to Hank Sawyer, because I'm sure he and Sandra are watching on Wavy Plus. Now, there is another player with some ties to the area. Dietrich Wise Jr. is a veteran defensive end that the Commanders signed. He was born in Suffolk because his father, Dietrich Wise Sr., the former head coach of the old Norfolk Nighthawks Arena football team that played at Scope. We're going to count him too.
Yeah.
So he comes to Washington after a long career with the Patriots.
And going back to Bobby Price a little bit, I just want to say super cool when I sat down with him. Former Bishop Sullivan, now Catholic quarterback. I think that his journey to the Commanders is very interesting because he played quarterback all of high school. And then he goes to Norfolk State, wants to be a quarterback, and they say, you're playing safety. And then he goes to the NFL and they say, well, you're going to be a corner. So Bobby even said that he still kind of has like a competition with the position players on the Commanders from the 30, so you can hit the goalpost with the arm.
I wonder if he threw any passes to Kevin Rahm, or is that?
They missed him by about a year.
Okay, all right. Yeah. I do want to add that Darryl Tapp, and I'm not trying to poo-poo on this, but Darryl Tapp was on the best team to not win a state title. He was on a Deep Creek team. Get this, D'Angelo Hall, James Anderson, and Darryl Tapp, and they did not win a state title. 3 NFL players. Also check this video out. This is Jalen Holmes in high school, Lake Taylor against Granby. Holmes playing wide receiver. Hail Mary catch to win the game. Granby was down that year. Lake Taylor was dominant, so almost a huge upset there. But Jalen Holmes saved the day for Lake Taylor on that Saturday afternoon out at Palatine Field.
It's very, very cool to see that.
Old school video, why not?
Yeah, moving things along, during training camp, I had the chance to sit down with JP Finley, who I'm sure many of you know at home. He's covered the Commanders for over a decade now. He's seen this team through its recent ups and then many downs before that, and during our 26-minute conversation, we covered Terry McLaurin's contract dispute, the Commanders being the oldest team in the NFL, and a whole lot more. Here's a snippet of that convo. The buzzword you used with Terry's contract is contentious.
Yeah.
Right? And
I think it's there.
I saw on your Instagram, you said, not good.
I don't think this is that abnormal. I recognize for fans, Terry has been this beacon during really, really terrible times for the organization.
Really the only stable part of the organization.
Totally. But for AP and DQ, these guys have been here a year, right? Like, God, in there, like, it's terrific what Terry did before we got here, but we've been here a year, and we love Terry. We want to take care of him, but like, do we have to pay him based on all the hardships that went down and what he means to fans? Maybe you end up getting there, but I think it's a really complex thing. I think extensions are really different than like free agency deals, where there's no other bidder to bid this thing up. Like you're trying to extend a contract, so it's just. I think it's really complex.
With Jaden, have you ever seen a guy of his age be that meticulous about his preparation?
I don't know. In the teams I've covered, they obviously had quarterbacks that were super focused. Alex Smith was the best at like understanding how to win football games, and then obviously he had the terrible injury. Kirk put the most into his preparation, but I've never seen a dude that carries himself like Jaden and is so focused on football all the time. I never have.
Does 27 and a half years old bug you at all? Or do you like the narrative around the Commanders being the oldest team in the NFL?
So the age of the roster thing, you have 5 dudes that are over 30 that if everything breaks right, play. Do you know who the oldest player on the team is? Josh Johnson is 39.
Oh, yeah, the 4th-string quarterback on the team.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, in an ideal situation, that dude doesn't play a snap.
Yeah.
But having a 39-year-old on your roster, when you do the math, is going to drive it way up.
Yeah.
Tress is 36.
Yep.
I think Ott is 33. Mariota's 31. I mean, those 4 dudes are going to shoot the numbers up.
So guys who
right?
aren't literally on the field all the time.
Right.
Right.
Now, I'm not taking away that Wagner, Ertz, Miller, the guys you are going to count on for roles are in their well into their 30s. Marshawn Lattimore, Deebo Samuel. Like, it's not a young roster. I think you balance that out with a second-year stud quarterback, and ideally they start to get more out of these draft classes. And I think a lot of the age on the roster is determined by 4 years of really bad drafting by Ron Rivera.
That full sit-down coming out this Friday. Let's take a look.
JP's so connected. He's there every day. That was a great conversation. I look forward to seeing the entire sit-down with you and JP Finley.
He is a mastermind for Washington Commanders football. Let's take a look at the schedule.
Okay, here we go. Here we go. Look at this. We start off against the Giants.
So I would say with the New York Giants, I like that for Washington. I think that's a W.
I think we can agree that that's going to. Jacob is tallying this up. That's a win for Washington. Okay, Thursday night, you got the short week turnaround the following week. One of 5 primetime games, and there could be more because there's some TBDs as we will see later. So the Packers, Thursday night football.
Jordan Love, Jaden Daniels. I think the Packers win this one on the short turnaround.
I'm going to have to agree, Jacob. That's 2-0. Sunday, September 21st, we are going to hosting the Raiders. Excuse me.
That's a win.
Yeah, 3-0, right?
No, 2-1 because they lose to Green Bay.
You got them losing to Green Bay?
I have them losing to Green Bay on the short week.
I'll give it to you, but that's a short week for them too.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'll do it. I'll play along.
And it's at Lambeau.
Okay, so you got 2-1. So we'll go. They're beating the Falcons, right?
Yeah, they're beating
even
the
though
Falcons.
it's in Atlanta.
Yep. 3-1.
All right, this could be tough here.
Chargers. No, they're beating the Chargers.
Cross country.
They're beating the Chargers.
I'm going to say no. You have to defer to me.
Okay, I'm deferring to you. So what? They're 3-2 after 5 weeks.
Where are we, Jacob? 3-2.
3-2.
Okay, Monday against the Bears. They replicate the magic, right? They do it.
Yeah, 4-2. 4-2
4-2
after Chicago.
Yeah,
for sure. Dallas. Dysfunction in Dallas. I like dysfunction in Dallas for a Washington Commanders fan. I would say that they win that game.
Yeah, we'll chalk it up.
5-2. Kansas City, I think they're losing that game.
I think they're going to lose at Kansas City on Monday Night Football.
Yep, Arrowhead's a tough place.
Another Monday night game. Where are we at?
5-3.
Okay.
Next
schedule.
Let's take it.
Okay. So we have another primetime game. This is a home game against the Seattle Seahawks. Who's Seattle's quarterback? I don't even know.
Sam Howell's the backup.
Who's the starter? I don't know. Did they draft anybody? I don't know.
That's a great question. Jalen Milroe.
Just based on that, we're going to go Washington, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Detroit, a rematch.
Woo!
That's
home.
Yeah. I think they'll get it done again. I think they'll beat Detroit. I think so.
Yeah, I'll go with it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, we're good. We got a minute left.
We got to blitz through these.
Okay, Spain. The first game ever in Spain, Madrid. Carol Ward, general manager. I lobby for this assignment. I don't have a passport, but I will get one. They're going to beat the Dolphins.
You're going to beat the Dolphins.
Yeah.
They're going to beat the Broncos.
So where are we?
9-3.
They're going to beat. I'll say they'll lose to the Vikings.
They're going to lose to the Vikings. I think they're going to sweep the Giants.
They're going to split with the Eagles, and they're going to
lose to Dallas the second time.
So what does that put us at?
They split
with the Eagles. So win one, lose one.
I think we got 12-5.
Are we back where we were?
11-6.
11-6. Okay, 11-6.
11-6.
Hey, it's better.
That beats the over.
We're under 9.5. I don't know what that was all about. All right, that's going to do it for Commanders Camp Check-In on Wavy Plus. I'm Brian Parsons.
James Cattato. We will see you on the next Sports Wrap Overtime Special.